and promote, promote, promote. If you're not promoting your products, no one else will. You want this to work out, so you have to put in the legwork. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Vanessa. I'm 26 years old and the owner of Saint Venus, which is a loungewear designed for everybody. And in this video, I want to share how to start a successful clothing brand and things that I did that I feel like aided in my success in my brand. So the first thing you will need to decide on is what your niche is going to be, or your niche is going to be. So what kind of things do you want to sell? Because in e-commerce, you can sell literally anything. You can sell baby clothes, you can sell baby items, you can sell furniture, electronics, you can sell shoes, pens, pencils, you can sell whatever you want. Just decide what is it that you want to sell and commit. Just commit to that. And after you've decided what you want to sell and what audience you're selling to, the first thing I would do is research. Research other brands that are currently selling similar products. So research your competition, and also research smaller brands, because you're small, you're starting out. So I would research smaller brands that are closer to the size that maybe you want to be in the next year, the next 2 years, the next 3 years, and see what they're doing, see how they're engaging with their audience, see the type of products that are doing well for them, that aren't doing well. Figure out the type of quality their items are. So if you guys will be selling to the same, audience, and your audience is used to buying their things, and their things are of X quality caliber, then you want to make sure that whatever you decide to sell is also at that caliber, if not better. So definitely research your competition would be the next thing I would do, and the next thing that I did when deciding what I wanted to sell. Once you do that, you want to decide what your startup budget is going to be. Now, obviously, not everyone has $10,000 to start a business, $20,000, $1,000, but if you have $500 and that is your starting amount, decide what it is you are going to prioritize using that money for. So something I would prioritize in like your startup costs would be, decide whether or not you want a website. What are the cost of your goods, like the products you're going to sell? What is the markup that you're going to sell them at once you receive it? And then what is your goal profit margin? So generally in business, what they taught me in business school was a 2.5x, the cost of your goods. Selling it at that amount would be a good enough price to sell, make some profit, and if you were to have the items on a discount, you're still profiting at least like $1 off of the baseline, breaking even. So decide what your budget is for startup costs and see how much inventory you can start with. Do the math, see how much money you will make after selling out the first bulk that you get of whatever product you have, and then decide what you're going to do with the money you've just made and how you want to then scale your brand. So budget would be the next thing I definitely recommend you guys set. And with budget and startup costs and all of these things, give yourself a deadline and be realistic with that deadline. So if you're starting in the summer, maybe you want to launch by the next summer. Give yourself a whole year to do the product research, to figure out who you're going to work with to produce your products, figure out what website posting platform you want to use, decide if you need influencers to help you build your brand, decide if you want to do photography by yourself and self-promotion. Like, give yourself a good cushion of time to fully think out the plan for your brand. But set a deadline and stick to it, because if you don't set a deadline, then you may never start. But if you set a deadline saying next summer I want to launch, you can at least work your way backwards. That means by beginning of the summer, I need to start promoting. That means by spring, I should have everything at least, at my house ready to go. By, January, maybe I want to start working on my website. By the Christmas before or the holiday season before, I want to make sure all my legal papers are, kind of finalized and set in motion. And that's why deadline is important, because then you can work backwards and see what actually needs to be done and in what time frame it needs to be done at. The next thing I would suggest would be being creative. So like I said, if you're researching other competitors and other brands and seeing, how they're promoting their products, start thinking of unique ways that you could, promote your products. Is it a different a camera angle? Is it the way that you're speaking to the camera? Is it the way that you're modeling your products? Is it the way that you're interacting with your audience? Like, decide what it is that makes your brand special in terms of messaging to your audience. Stick with it, be creative, and think of multiple things, right, that can potentially grab somebody's attention. Generally, people need to see things a couple of times before being convinced to purchase it. No one's gonna see your item on the first time and decide, oh, I'm buying it right away. People need to warm up to it. So that's why you kind of need multiple different things for them to see. They need to see your items in different lighting, being used in different ways. So definitely start jotting down different ideas, different videos you can make on social media, different pictures you can take, different posts you can make, different people you can reach out to. Really jot down all of your ideas during this time as well, because like I said, you have to plan things out. Things don't always go to plan, but at least with a plan, you have something to work with. So you want to decide now on what your branding is going to be. What is the message that you want people to leave your page with? What is the feeling you want your brand to give off? Is your brand sexy? Is it cool? Is it grunge? Is it professional? Decide whatever it is your brand personality is. Stick to it. Decide on colors that represent whatever personality you've attributed to your brand. There's a whole color wheel that say, red is like exciting, blue is calm, and you can pick your brand colors off of that, or you can just pick your favorite colors. You can also pick no colors. It can be black and white. Whatever it is, just stick to it and be consistent throughout your Instagram, your website, your thank you cards, your packaging. Just keep it all together and concise. That way, everyone can identify your brand. Your brand is not just your logo. Your brand is every aspect of your business that someone bumps into. And the most important thing to remember when trying to build a successful brand, clothing brand, electronics, digital products, whatever it is being consistent with promoting yourself, promoting your products. Your products are not going to sell itself, so if you're not constantly promoting your products and trying to get it in front of your customers, having photo shoots, or even having photo shoots with your friends. It doesn't need to be this whole big production. It could be something very simple, but doing these things periodically just to show the followers that you do have that you're active is extremely important. Don't be like me and go on hiatuses, but obviously taking time off is important whenever you need to just have a mental reset. But get right back in there and promote. If you're not promoting your products, no one else will. You want this to work out, so you have to put in the legwork. So that's basically everything I would say you need to keep in mind when trying to start a successful clothing brand. And if you do, even a combination of any of these things, I am sure with time you will succeed. So I want to thank you guys again for watching my video, and I'll talk to you in another one.